We all know that electric cars are all the rage now, right? They're eco-friendly and good for reducing our carbon footprint. But what happens when these things catch fire? Wild incidents like these are a common thing in China. It's got everyone talking about safety and the new modern technologies that are crucial players in this industry. This goes beyond China, beyond the EV sector, and these things happening there serve as a case study for the rest of the world. Watch till the end because we'll talk about that and why this is destined to happen in the US. What happened? Imagine cruising the lively streets of China and out of the blue, bam! A parked electric car turns into a full-blown fireworks show. This sleek white ride charging up goes into rocket mode, shooting up 3 to 5 meters after a massive explosion. Slow motion catches these car door projectiles flying in the air, thanks to the blast shockwave. All this drama unfolds after a little run-in with a sign, tearing the front into bits before the rest catches fire. And as expected, this jaw-dropping clip has been flooding social media. Safety worries about electric cars were the new hot topic, especially in China. Interestingly, despite Tesla's fair share of safety issues, their cars don't usually turn into action movie explosions. On the flip side, Chinese electric cars have had this happen to them countless times. So it's not a surprise that people see these Chinese EVs as unreliable. If you think this is not a big deal, think again. On another occasion, a BYD sales center turned into a fire battleground, with firefighters going all out while electric vehicles on the rooftop added an extra layer of spectacle to the showdown. But you have to ask yourself, is this just immature technology sparking these fiery episodes? Or is there a deeper issue fueling the spectacle? Safety concerns and unexpected adventures are keeping the electric car industry in suspense. If we look at the big picture, it's not just about the viral and crazy stuff like explosions. There's more to the story. Sales are constantly dropping and things are changing in the car world forever. But don't worry, we're not here to say that. Stay with us because we're going to find out what's really happening in the world of EVs, especially in China. Challenges. The Chinese electric vehicle market has shown a significant slowdown, with reports of declining sales ultimately reflecting diminishing purchasing power among consumers. This highlights a critical downturn in the automotive sector, particularly for new electric vehicles. Be honest, who can afford an EV filled with extra and useless features in today's economy? That is why the once thriving market, characterized by rapid growth, found itself navigating through a noticeable slowdown, a departure from the upward trend of the previous year. In the latter half of 2023, a shift occurred in the dynamic world of Chinese electric vehicles. The insights, drawn from the latest data by the Chinese Passenger Car Association, or CPCA, unveil a narrative of change and uncertainty. Except for BYD, big players like SAIC Volkswagen, GAC Toyota, SAIC General Motors and Great Wall Motor faced a dip in sales. Meanwhile, the remaining 5 juggled to achieve modest growth, with some merely maintaining the status quo from the previous year. There's this massive gap in the electric vehicle sales by the end of the third quarter. China missed its goal by a whopping 30% and only 5.9 million units hit the road. That's a big red flag, weaving a tale of diminishing purchasing power among Chinese automotive consumers and foreshadowing a looming downturn in the industry for the year ahead. Remember the good old days when electric vehicles, lithium batteries and solar power were China's pride and joy? Yeah, those times might be taking a rain check. Electric vehicles, once heralded as part of China's trio of proud new energy industries, alongside lithium batteries and solar power, are now facing a crossroads. These industries, once significant economic drivers, under the watchful eye of the Chinese Communist Party, now find themselves navigating uncharted territory and grappling with uncertainties. Now hold on to your seat because we're right in the middle of the action in China's lithium battery world and the solar power industry. If you really think about it, the EV industry doesn't stand alone. Just like the current gasoline and combustion cars are dependent on the oil industry, the EV is very dependent on renewable energies, but we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Before that, we should talk about China's battery industry. What's really happening? The unprecedented growth of the new energy car market has led to considerable demand for batteries, resulting in overproduction and potential market crashes. The decline in lithium carbonate prices and challenges in batteries recycling pose environmental and economic concerns, indicating a looming crisis in the battery sector. A foreseen battery catastrophe is set to unfold just 4 years from now. Lithium carbonate, hailed as white petroleum, has plummeted by a staggering 80% from its peak in 2022. The market, once soaring to unprecedented heights, is now nosediving fast. So, what's the real story? You can just blame it on the electric car craze triggering an energy storage boom. Businesses rush to meet the demand, but now experts are warning us about shaky ground. Cities with a GDP of over $500 billion in China are engaged in a battery investment race, with governments injecting massive funds. Fast forward to today, lithium carbonate features are spiraling down, causing headaches for 13% of manufacturers. But wait, there's more. This is just a surface-level issue. Other big problems driving this downward trend is recycling. Amid the new energy vehicle boom, China's battery production falls short of recycling infrastructure. In 2023, China was anticipating generating a colossal 2.3 million tons of scrap power batteries, with only 20% earmarked for recycling. The rest potentially ended up in regular trash bins, sparking environmental concerns. But more than that, this means hard-to-find rare earth metals will be lost forever. Now, the booming industry grapples not only with market downturns, but also with the aftermath of its success: discarded batteries and the looming specter of environmental impact. The narrative reveals a complex economic phenomenon between prosperity and pitfalls, shaping the future of these vital industries in China. And this next one plays a huge role: China's solar industry. For nearly 2 decades, China has dominated the global photovoltaic market, with 3/4 of the world's solar energy capacity resting within its borders. However, behind the scenes of prosperity lies a complex narrative of overcapacity and market fluctuations. Giant companies like LONGi Green Energy, once riding high in the solar energy world, are now grappling with a $2.8 billion market value freefall. The photovoltaic industry, which used to be all sunshine, is facing stormy weather. Module prices are nosediving, leading to layoffs and second-tier companies selling at a loss. But hold on, this is just the tip of the solar iceberg. International scrutiny and sanctions cast shadows on China's new energy endeavors too. From allegations of forced labor to accusations of market manipulation, the industry's reliance on the CCP's support has triggered anti-dumping investigations globally. The EU, the US, and the UK are all raising concerns about the impact of China's actions on the clean energy supply chain. The world is waking up to the chaos caused by China's new energy ventures. The CCP's once smooth ride is now a rollercoaster of anti-dumping probes and global sanctions. And this is just what is happening in the solar energy section. So, what now? China does a lot of things very differently from the rest of the world. But some things don't change just because you live in a different place. The world economy is ruled by strict and, for the most part, unchangeable principles. China has to acknowledge that in order to get ahead. This is why, in the pulse of China's industrial heartbeat, recent research unveils a shifting narrative in the once reliable trifecta: lithium batteries, new energy vehicles, and more. The Chinese Communist Party's sturdy reliance on these industries now faces a turbulent chapter. But doesn't it seem like a familiar story? Governments all over the world are dumping so much money on EVs, and all of them are giving a huge amount of incentives, often without considering the aftermath of this surge in money. An industry can't just grow out of the blue because you want it to. It takes time and it needs to naturally mature, depending on the basic and fundamental principles of the world economy. This goes beyond being the cleanest energy-consuming country. What is the point of that if it's not sustainable, and you're just adding fuel to the already hot and burning wildfire? But what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.